that game yesterday with the Giants, 35 and it was a huge game. We did win the first one, which we didn't do last year. It was awesome, but this game showed a myriad of problems. So we're going to deal with the problems first, and then we're going to take you out on a lighter note, because there was some really good things that we saw out there last night. All right, I'm going to bring in my man, Grizz. What's up, man?
Wow, what a game, man. I'm telling you, I went out on eBay and bought a heart defibrillator with the paddles and everything. I figure we're going to need it this season if you're going to be a Cowboy fan, but at least we got some excitement going,
Exactly. It's going to be a roller coaster season. Yeah, that was just a microcosm of what we're going to get the whole entire year. But let's start off with the major thing that concerns me, man, is Fergie.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he's got that torn bicep, and every time you hear that, especially with the line guys, that's it. He's done for the season. They pretty much said it, although they kind of backed off a little and said, we'll check it again today. But I think you can pretty much count him out for the rest of the year. Yeah,
I was telling somebody that was here watching the game with me. I mean, your bicep, you need that for your power, everything when you're down there on the line. There's no way of playing. I think somebody during the training camp thing with the Chiefs, he was a corner he was a cornerback. He had a torn bicep, but he was playing. That's kind of different back there because they don't use that muscle every single down. Fergie needs that,
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have that to play in the trenches and the pits down there, and it just ain't going to happen.
No.
Jay Ratliff is going to be the man, which, thank goodness we got Jay Ratliff on the team, right?
Yeah, and what happened to Remy? He got picked up by the Falcons, right?
But they cut him. They cut him a couple of days ago because they wanted to add somebody else. So I'm guessing that's the first place the Cowboys are going. He knows the system, and they didn't really want to get rid of him in the first place. They wanted to keep him on the practice squad. So
exactly.
I think he'll be back and probably on the 53-man roster this week.
Do you think we'll look at a tank the second half of the season?
Well, possibly, but I mean, he's still got that suspension hanging over his head, so that's kind of a problem for the Cowboys who need some help right away. So I don't know if he can be the solution.
That hurt. I mean, I was just thinking that's the third worst injury that could happen to our defense. One where 2 is happening with Tinu, and 3 is Fergie.
Yeah, I mean, over the offseason I wrote about if Tinu goes down, we're in real trouble. I thought he was just, without him, our defense wouldn't work. And the other guy we talked about all offseason because we really didn't have a backup was, Ferguson. So luckily Ratliff is now backing him up.
And isn't it horrible that those are our 2 weakest positions?
And that's the ones we get injuries at.
And that's the one we get hit. Karma. Not karma. Just bad luck, I guess. Tinu, what do you think, man? Do you think he's going to come back soon? Do you want him to come back soon?
You bet I want him to come back soon after, our defense got torched like that last night.
Yeah.
But, I guess it's a point where maybe we have to sacrifice some of our defense these first few games so that we can get Tinu for the long run and make sure we have him toward the end of the year and at least the playoffs if we get there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If he needs to hold off for the first 3 or 4 games to make sure he's healthy and then come back, or I'm with that. But then this injury, man, he could be walking around like he's okay and just make one wrong cut and he's back down again.
I mean, it's something all year when we watch him on the field, we're just going to be holding our breath every time he does something.
Yeah. What do you think about our D, man?
Well, we got a couple of problems. I mean, obviously the secondary was not up to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, across the board, really. I didn't see a whole lot of Ken Hamlin, but what I did see is every time a long pass was, completed by the Giants, there was either one of our corners and Rory Williams in the area but not making a play. So I thought the idea was to get Roy out of coverage as much as possible, but he sure looked to be right back in coverage the same as last year in this game, and he didn't come up so well. So we've got definite secondary issues, and we really didn't help him out by getting any consistent pass pressure on Eli. He had a lot of time.
I think Wade just called him a much more vanilla game than he would have just because of our secondary woes. But, that always confuses me because, we got torched anyway. So
Right.
you might as well just send the house,
Right. Well, I mean, that might be the conclusion he's now come to. It just really doesn't matter. I can't protect them. So I better try to save them by getting a decent pass rush. So we'll see what happens this coming week. But he probably learned that lesson. He probably thought some kind of safety zone coverages or something would save it, but it just didn't work.
Yeah. All right, let's go to a lighter note. What's up with the offense, man? Do we have a juggernaut?
Explosion, man. I don't think Tony Romo could have looked much better than he looked last night.
Yeah.
I mean, he had that one interception, but even that was just a nice defensive call by the Giants where they rolled the safety up to the line and then at the last second backed him back out, and Romo never saw him.
Yeah.
But forget that. I mean, Romo was money last night. I mean, we gave him time, and he hit everybody. What did we do, like 370-something yards in offense? 470-something yards in offense?
Yeah, 470.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Awesome output. Now, I was noticing one thing with our running backs, man, with JJ and Barber. This is a totally different offense when Barber's out there running. I mean, he was running. When he came in, I remember telling another person I was watching. As soon as Barber came in the game, he leveled one of the corners in the sidelines and just looked at him. And that energized the whole offense. And when we came out to the next series, that's when the fireworks started to happen.
Yeah, I mean, when MB3's in there, he just runs hard. I mean, he makes the defense pay for tackling him. But here's the weird thing I didn't get. Why did they continue to run JJ through the tackles in the middle of the line? Where was that toss sweep play that we ran over and over in training camp and we ran over and over in preseason? And I don't even think we ran it last night. We ran
him to the outside once, and he just he ran for like 10, 15 yards or whatever, untouched. He was just flying, and then I never saw it again.
And we also ran the screen out there to him one time that worked for like 10 or 12 yards. Yep. But we basically ditched all that outside package that we had for JJ. So I didn't really understand how they were using him last night.
Yeah.
They need to get him back on those toss sweeps and things to the outside, which we didn't do any of last night.
Right. All right, running out of time, I'm just going to say, T.O. was just amazing. The one-hand touchdown pass, I don't want to hear about him not being able to catch again. I don't want to hear it. His hand is healed, people.
Yeah, I mean, heck, if you're going to get 2 touchdowns on 3 catches, that's getting production out of your time on the field. I mean, I would like to see them use him a little bit more early on in the game, but you can't complain anything about him. I mean, when they got him the ball, he made plays. That catch in the end zone was a great catch. And then the catch across the middle using his speed just to blow through for the touchdown. Production, baby, production.
And the last person I want to bring up is Sammy Hurd.
Yeah.
Big play on a big game at a crucial time. We had to have that touchdown. We had to have that score right there to put the nail in the coffin for the Giants, and he did it. And that's what I was looking for from him. I knew he did it in pregame. I mean, not pregame, preseason. But now he's done in the season, and I have so much more faith in Sam Hurd than I've ever had in my life. So I love that.
Yeah. You know what the good thing was? We look kind of like the old St. Louis Rams. Mike Martz is the same disciple of this offense that Jason Garrett is, just from a little bit different branch of the tree there. But we hit our receivers on the run, on the move, going forward toward the end zone. Not a whole lot of comebacks and, curls and things like that. Guys moving toward the end zone when they're catching the ball. It reminds me of that whole kind of, St. Louis Rams style of hit the receivers on the run and let them make a play.
All right, Grizz, I got to go. We will see you on Thursday to talk about the Miami Fish.
Yeah. Hey, man, 1-0. 1-0. That's all you got to say.
And a division, 1-0 in the division, which is even better.